Gobble, gobble, guys. Happy Thanksgiving as of tomorrow or yesterday or today, if you're watching it on Thanksgiving or whatever day it is. By now, most of you guys know Steelers and Ravens is not going to happen, which is, a swift kick to the nuts for all of us football fans. I liked what Schmizzle tweeted that DFS players everywhere are now pissed that they have to spend time with their family.
Yeah, it sucks, man. It is definitely a kick in the nuts. Not even that, just like no late game. Like I'm hearing, a couple people mention they wish the games were pushed back. That's not going to happen.
No, you can't just tell people like this is the plan, right? Like these players and their families and also all the
It's not just about like people watching the games. Like it's about, exactly. This is the plan.
There's people who have jobs based around this and stuff like that, guys. So we're gonna do main slate right now. We were kind of waiting out to see what DraftKings was going to do. It sounds like they're just going to make it a 2-game slate. Those guys are going to be in red, as you preface. So we'll drop some Thanksgiving info in a little bit. But for the time being, let's talk about which is a much more exciting slate, which is going to be the main slate this week.
Let's get it, man.
Including one really good game, or at least we think it'll be a good game.
Sets up as a real good game. Like it sets up as a potential Super Bowl preview for sure. I mean, the favorite from the AFC and one of the top 4 teams from the NFC.
We know who the favorite is from the AFC. The NFC, it's definitely like a week-by-week basis who you think the best team is.
Like the NFC is like, I know they're not playing well right now. They obviously got lost at home to the Rams, but I don't think anyone would be surprised if Tampa came out of the NFC.
No, there's like 4 or 5 teams under the NFC I wouldn't be surprised about. The AFC, to me, it's clearly Chiefs, Steelers, everybody else, in my opinion.
Definitely, but it's more like Chiefs and then Steelers and then everyone else for me. Like the Chiefs are on their own level.
I agree. All right, keep moving along, guys. I want to bring this up. We talked about it. We've been running this promotion for the NBA-only package. We are down to only 3 spots. I can virtually guarantee those will be done over the next couple of days. So if you want one of the last spots at the half price total, it'll be a 25% increase as soon as today or tomorrow. It's not up on the website. I will put the next one up on the website, but for the time being, we got PayPal and Venmo addresses. If you send the $60 over there, you get the NBA full season, playoffs included, half price, and then we'll move it up until we get to the regular price a little bit closer to the season. Love to have you guys come and join the team, and I am excited as hell for the start of the NBA season.
As am I, as I'm sure everyone is.
Yeah, man. A lot of you sports addicts, obviously we're sports addicts, but for the rest of you guys, most of us are just ready for daily sports again.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the other things I'm psyched about is the overlay matchup shop for the NBA season. I'm going to get my money in every single day. Yes. I love the NBA, and I think the matchup shop is going to be straight fire. They got multiple ways to do deposits over there. They had some PayPal issues, but Cash App and a few other things that you can use. Guys, the matchup shop is fire. Get on it. The name of the website is overlaydfs.com. I encourage you, if you have not made a deposit yet and started playing, make that initial deposit. Show me the screenshot. Let me give you a free membership to the 5-pack. It almost feels like yesterday we were talking about the progressive tournament. It's all about the matchup shop for me these days. I still play the tournaments, but I can get so much action with the matchup shop.
For sure. And I'll tell you what, like the NBA is the most predictable sport. So my favorite part of the matchup shop is when they have starting pitchers against each other. NBA is, at least, most replicable, the most projectable, I should say.
I feel like I'm going to be a matchup shop addict come NBA season. So looking forward to it. Overlaydfs.com. Give that bad boy a whirl. Subscribe to the station.
Would you say you're not a matchup shop addict right now?
Oh, I'm an addict right now, but I can go days without playing. And because there's only football. But when it's every single day, it's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. Like Tyrone Bigum's type of stuff.
I get it.
All right, man. So let's talk about quarterbacks this week. There's a bunch of them at our disposal. One of my favorite places to go is going to be the Chargers-Buffalo game, which is one of the highest totals on the week. When we did members only the other day, I mentioned you should probably check out the weather in this game before you decide how aggressive you want to be at the quarterbacks, because Buffalo in November can be a bit of a wild card. Well, guess what, guys? Doesn't seem to be any issues. Might be a little chilly, but no precipitation or rain or wind or anything like that. So I like both quarterbacks in this game. Pick your favorite. Justin Herbert has been one of the most consistent quarterbacks in NFL history, probably because it's a very small sample size, but it's been extremely consistent. Meanwhile, Josh Allen is another guy poised for upside this week. If you go back and look at the Chargers since like week 3 or 4, they are averaging giving up over 30 points per game because their defense is all names and no substance. I like Allen a little bit better if John Brown plays, but it's not going to talk me out of him if he doesn't. It just gives him that one extra deep threat possibility. I mean, this guy can do it with his legs, his arm. The Chargers, the other thing about them is their offense is really, really good. And they put up points, and oftentimes they put up points early before absolutely just giving the game away, and that's where quarterbacks come charging back. A lot to like about Josh Allen in this game.
Yeah, I like Allen a lot here. Last time they played was a couple weeks ago. That bad taste in their mouth against the Cardinals, DeAndre Hopkins, etc. I expect them to come out guns blazing here. Chargers are not good defensively. I know Bosa just came back last week. They're still missing Derwin James, probably their, besides Bosa, their best defensive player who's out for the year. They just have all over. I expect Allen to run and throw with a ton of success in this matchup. I like him for all the points you mentioned, man.
Reasons to get off of Josh Allen, there's other good plays, but that's pretty standard with the quarterback in this day and age where we got, all these dual threats all over the place. For many, many years, I know a lot of people love paying down at quarterback, especially in cash games, so that they can load up on skill position players. That is harder to do these days because these upper echelon quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers some weeks, et cetera, Patrick Mahomes, like their high-end games are so high that it is harder not to play one of these studs than it used to be.
Especially these guys with the running upside.
Yeah, exactly. No doubt about it. And Josh Allen is one of those guys.
For sure.
All right, next up. So running back is not as strong as normal. So we're going to talk about a couple of lower dollar guys that at this point, I don't know how much love they're going to get. I'm looking at Wayne Gallman, which is something I never thought I'd say at 5K, but he actually has a lot of things working in his directions this week. The Giants are a team on the rise. They've been playing better all season long. Now they're actually starting to turn some of these better performances into wins. Coming off a bye, going up against a Cincinnati team that, well, let's just put it lightly, took a major blow last week. Not just a major blow for Cincinnati, but a major blow for the NFL overall as Joe Burrow, appeared to be kind of a rising star. For you Bengals fans out there, it's already hard enough. I'm sure Matt can relate as a Browns fan. It's not a great go at things, but to lose your guy like that, that's just a rough spot. So I do feel really bad for you guys. And it's another reason that I like Gallman. Like, it's just going to be difficult for Cincinnati's offense to be as good this week without their young stud going. Gallman has extra touches now in 4 straight games. They give him a little more workload every week, but also because the Giants are now starting to play better early in games. Daniel Jones gone back-to-back games without a turnover, so they're getting leads and they're allowed to pound the rock a little bit more. But my favorite point for Wayne Gallman, and what is one of the biggest factors in running back replication of success, who gets the looks inside the 5? Gallman is getting all the carries inside the 5 from a running back position. He scored a touchdown in 4 straight, including 2 last week. There's 6-point favorites in the game in this game, so not saying that's going to happen, but it sets up as a favorable position for him game script wise. I wouldn't say he's a must or anything like that, but running back is not as strong as normal this week. So he is somebody I'm looking at so I can load up in high price players in other spots.
He looks like really, really appealing at 5K, honestly, without many good running back options, especially if you think this game plays out like you do, where the Giants get ahead. They're nice favorites in this game. I'm not sure I trust the Giants in that spot. I know that Cincinnati's missing their quarterback, but I'm not sure I trust the Giants as 6 points road favorites. That's just my opinion. So I'm a little bit more hesitant on them having so much success, even against Cincinnati, who is obviously not very good. Under your game script, though, it's hard not to like Gallman at 5K. Again, he's getting all the touches. I mean, even if the Giants lose this game, Gallman's could still have a very good day because he could score for them. Like I said, he gets all the running back touches. I get why you like him at 5K.
Yeah, I like him specifically because he gets, Alfred Morris takes like 6 carries, and then they bring in Deion Lewis if they're behind and have to go pass heavy, which you don't really expect to be behind here. Maybe it'll be a close competitive game, but either way, I expect him to be in this one. But he gets the work inside the 5. This is not a high-flying offense with great wide receivers down in the stretch. Like when you have a Mike Evans and a Tom Brady, it kind of makes sense sometimes to throw it from the 2-yard a little bit more. The Giants using a lot of that action down there, get Gallman the ball inside the 5. So he could even have a less than productive day, but if he falls in the end zone, it's really easy for him to get to double digits.
Amen.
All right. Next up is your guy from Cheap's running backs. And I think the key point's the first one right here. There's no more Rex Burkhead. And he is the only other guy from a running back perspective that catches passes for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, I think the main 2 points, the most important ones are the first 2 points. One that you just mentioned, he's cheap, and Rex Burkhead's out. So in a game against Arizona, the Cardinals' offense is good. Expect them to move the ball and score. New England, in basically a must-win game here. White produced for them last week. He had kind of lost a bunch of his role, but now with Burkhead out, they need the only guy on third down that's going to catch balls for them. I just like him in all formats. Again, on a slate without many good running back options. You've obviously got the big dog Dalvin Cook up top. After that, there aren't any guys you feel like 100% comfortable with. I think White gives you a really good spend down option at 4,500. Maybe I like him more in tournaments. I can use him in all formats because the PPR is just so money with him.
I didn't look this up, but I'm guessing based on lack of research, I believe Harris and potentially Sony Michel have combined for -7 catches in the NFL. So who's getting the passing work.
Right? Exactly.
All right. Next up, cover boy of the week, game of the week. Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Should be a good one. Looking forward to watching this one Sunday afternoon. I don't want to just leave it here, but as far as Tyreek Hill is concerned, look at the game log, guys. He has been nothing short of sensational this season. His only real bad game came against Buffalo in awful weather where they were able to run the football all over Buffalo, so they didn't really need him. But now they get Tampa Bay, who, despite losing Vita Vea, weeks ago, have continued to be, if they're not the best, one of the best run defenses in all the league. So this game screams bubble screens for Tyreek Hill as an extension of the running game. Also, even if you don't do that, it just screams passes. When Patrick Mahomes and Hill have a lot of opportunities, they are going to succeed. We just saw this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense absolutely destroyed by the likes of Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. They can be got in the passing game. And Patrick Mahomes is the guy who can get anybody. Hill is one of the highest upside plays in the league, but he's actually been one of the most consistent players in the league this week. He's got upside even at this price. I want exposure to this game. This guy is big game capable. He gives me a little bit of everything I'm looking for. 11 touches this year, too. Touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare you get KC in a spot where, some people are projecting them to lose. They're only 3-point favorites. Usually they're more than touchdown favorites, regardless who they're playing. This is a game that they've probably had circled. Tom Brady in Tampa. They've signed Antonio Brown. Big game all over. Tyreek Hill has been arguably the best receiver in football this year. One thing about him that makes me really, appreciate how good he is and make me think he is right up there is Patrick Mahomes loves him. And I feel like Patrick Mahomes can make just about anyone really good. And he zones in on Tyreek Hill because Tyreek Hill's so good. I think you're right. I like the bubble screen call. But even if that's not the bubble screen call, maybe he hits one deep. Maybe they throw him 5 balls on the first drive like they did last week. They're going to get him involved one way or another.
Yeah, yes, they are. He's just an absolute nightmare to deal with because of that speed. I mean, he's just a human highlight film. He's a video game in walking as a man right here. He cannot be brought down easily because you cannot get your hands on this guy easily, which is why I believe he has double digits in every game but one this year. I know you like Tampa Bay in this game, but we both agree we think it's going to be a competitive game. And when you can't run in Tampa, that means a lot of pass attempts by the Kansas City Chiefs.
For sizzle.
All right. Next up, go DJ. That's Matt's DJ. Dun, dun, dun. It's a little Wayne reference for those of you who don't get that one. This is a dome game against the young secondary. And my favorite point about DJ Moore, he's got a 30-yard reception in 8 different games this year, and he matches up with the young secondary here.
So I know Bridgewater is expected to play, and that's good for DJ Moore. But honestly, it doesn't even matter. PJ Walker liked him a lot. Looks like he is developing chemistry with both quarterbacks because even before Bridgewater went down, Moore had been quite productive. Love the point about the dome game. That was the reason I had him circled. No weather issues, obviously, because it's in a dome. We saw defense is obviously, not that good. They played a Bears offense on Monday night that was atrocious. Dallas beat them at home. I think this game's competitive. Carolina's coming off a nice win. Again, Bridgewater is probably back. Carolina has 3 good receivers, so it's hard to choose between them. I get it. Or Anderson, Samuel right now. Exposure to the Carolina passing game. And I think Moore has, the safety of the floor because he's played well recently, but also big time upside because he breaks big plays as by your last bullet point.
Yeah, and that means something to me. A guy that he can be disappointing you all game, and then he catches a 62-yard touchdown in late in the third quarter, and you're like, okay, I got 13.2 points right there. He doesn't really need to do that much else to be a positive detriment to your lineup at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot of ways. And again, I like big play guys like DJ Moore against a secondary that makes mistakes, and Minnesota's secondary is extremely young.
Amen.
That's it, guys. That's what we got this week. We will drop out some Thanksgiving information here later on this afternoon, early evening. We would have done that one first, but we're waiting on a couple of key injury informations. And, of course, the news on the Steelers-Ravens not playing changes things, just a little bit, just a tiny little bit right there. So if you can, click the thumbs up on the video, and we will holler at you guys soon.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.